Hey you, it's another beautiful day. You want to hear a story? So today is June 26th, 2024. And here in California, and I don't know where else, but here we have June bugs. And they're these little brown scarab-like beetles that come out of the ground every year in June. And I've seen zero so far. So I don't know what's going on. Do you have bugs like that in your area? And are they late? Just wondering. Let's watch some stuff.
Check this out. Ever heard the expression, there's nothing new under the sun? There were robots in existence in 1883. Look at these pictures. 1887. This man is getting his carriage pulled by a droid. See that? This is the famous Moorish boxer, Jack Johnson. Who was he fighting against? A droid. A bot. Here, the robot is on the stage being shown off to the crowd. 1883, they're showing the insides of the bot, the droid. 1893, here's a droid in the military. Frank Reed Jr. and his new steam name. Look at that. Look at that. Marvel of the Klondike. Metal Man triumphs over an enormous grizzly. How about this one? Frank Reed Jr. and his new steam horse. Look at that. How about this one? Where do you think Star Wars got the ideas about droids from? They were already here. Wow.
So my good friend over on Rumble, and I'm going to continue to call them my good friend until I get a cease and desist order. My good friend over on Rumble, the Mystical Chap, just posted this incredible video about the Tartarian Empire. And this little clip was in there, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I thought it was so cool. I'm going to leave a link for the Mystical Chap in my description so you can check him out. It's got a lot of amazing material that'll just blow your mind, just like this one did. Totally blew my mind. And I love talking about the Tartarian Empire. And you know, this technology, I mean, these photos, most of them look extremely authentic. And I love stuff that just shows the technology that we had recently in our civilization and is just being covered up.
How did we go from fighting a revolution over a 2% tax on a breakfast beverage to what we pay today? And we're taxed on money when we receive it, when we spend it, when we keep it, when we invest it, and even when we die with it. It gets worse. We commute to work to make that money in a car that is taxed again to register on roads we're already taxed to build, fueled by gas that is taxed even further, and many times through tolls that tax you again. And that's to maintain bridges and highways and tunnels that already have billions of dollars, taxpayer dollars, allocated to them, and they're still falling apart. And then when you get to your office that is taxed to exist, in a corporation that is also taxed.
Taxes really are an incredible thing. Like, you're taxed to work, and then you're taxed to buy groceries with that money that you had already been taxed on. And I know he just explained it, but it just drives me crazy thinking how many times that $1 is taxed. It's just, taxes are a crazy thing.
Yo, the Georgia Guidestones are another example of how they put it all in our face. The universal plan, restart of humanity. The Georgia Guidestone Memorial was created and finalized in 1980. And on this monument, there are 12 different languages talking about the conservation of mankind. For all 12 languages, it's the same consistent message. This is about the restart, the ultimate plan, and it's right here in front of us. So it reads, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. I mean, like, maintain humanity under 500 million. That's wiping out 90%, at minimum, 90% of the world's population. Don't sound like a restart to me. I don't know what it sounds like. That's the ultimate plan. A restart, a new religion, a new language, new life, new everything, under one rule. It's just right here in front of us. I believe it was put into 12 different languages so everyone can understand the ultimate plan. Part of the universal rule for them to have to put it in our face. And here it is. Y'all go ahead and let me know what y'all think in the comments.
All right, now you're not going to believe this. I know. This is really, check this out. I just learned about this just a couple days ago. Yeah, I know. I'm way behind on everything. I just learned about these freaking guide stones. And wouldn't you know, somebody went and destroyed them. But here's the thing. This is talking about depopulation, right? Keep the world population under 500,000. We're going to have a new rule under one religion, one language. Why is it in every single language if we're going to have one language? It's the New World Order. Like he said, it's like the New World Order. Except there's another point of view. So let's hear about that.
The Georgia Guidestones, sometimes referred to as the American Stonehenge, is a 20-foot tall monument erected in 1980, and as of July 6, 2022, somebody blew it up. In 8 different languages around this monument, these 10 guidelines can be read. On the edges, in 4 ancient languages, were these. Constructed in the occasion, an apocalypse happened, and people needed help figuring out how to rebuild society. The Swahili and Hindi languages were blown off, so the authorities took it down. And why exactly did this happen? Well, it's not known for sure as of now, but don't mention these stones to your average conspiracy theorist because they'll go nuts. Far-right conspiracists believe the monument to be what will enact the New World Order. For some reason, in the desolate town of Alberton, Georgia, with a massive population of 4,342, like that's quite possibly the size of your neighborhood, and somehow, a demon-possessed totalitarian government is supposed to rise up from there and control the entire world. Right. And now it's gone. So what? Does it just not happen? Did they bomb it for no reason? Or are we just gonna have to reschedule this whole New World Order thing? Who knows?
So there, now we have 2 different perspectives on these Georgia Guidestones. One side is getting heated and thinking that that somebody's trying to wipe out all but 500 million people on the planet and put everybody under one roof with one religion and one language, and this other person's like, you think it's calling out demons, bleh, because this side doesn't know how to go. I disagree with you. I think that it's for this. I digress. I apologize. So it's supposedly put up as a marker for if there is some huge global cataclysm, we would have something to guide us in a good way to reconstruct civilization as a unity. And that's what this other side thinks. Somebody, my good friend, told me that it was actually destroyed by Space Force. What? Right? I don't even know how that thing would withstand a cataclysm because it was very easily knocked down. Like if there was some huge catastrophe on this planet, I don't, how would it still be standing?
This video is only hundreds of years old. We were so more advanced than what we think. History is a complete lie. They are covering up something. This is definitely some sort of anti-gravity technology used by the ancient Tartarians. History is his story. These videos are not just it. There are pictures of the ancients using advanced technology that we do not even use to this day. Why are we not told about this? And why is this not in our history books? This looks like some sort of spirit technology to see the other side, or some sort of hologram technology. What do you think?
Have you watched any of my early videos, like the very first few? First of all, I apologize. I had no lighting. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no microphone. It was a little cringe. And thank you for watching those also. But secondly, you would recognize this video. I did play it at the beginning, but now I have a whole lot more context to this first thing at the very beginning, right? So we, a while ago, did the bell-shaped levitation device that Germany had, right? That was alien tech. That's what I was saying. It looks like that. And that's absolutely crazy because we have all kinds of this levitation technology, as you can see there. And why are we not using it now? Anybody?
Alexa, how do intelligence agencies utilize brain mapping?
From CIO.com. The goal is to better understand and create computational models of how the brain works, and then use those models to train artificial neural networks to map images to actions quickly and accurately.
Alexa, is there a non-invasive synthetic telepathy interface?
From cybersecurityintelligence.com. In 2012, DARPA issued a $4 million grant to build a non-invasive synthetic telepathy interface by placing sensors close to the brain's motor centers to pick up electrical signals, non-invasively, over the skin.
2012. Alexa, how does CT2WS use brain frequencies?
From newatlas.com. CT2WS is a man-portable system that reduces the miss rate drastically by reading the operator's brainwave patterns and using them to determine if he's seen a possible threat without being aware of it.
Alexa, when was CT2WS first used in combat?
From siteeachdaily.com. DARPA launched the Cognitive Technology Threat Warning System, CT2WS, program in 2008 with the goal of maximizing warfighters' awareness of their surroundings by developing man-portable visual threat detection devices.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like this stuff is already happening. Like there are already things that do stuff with the brain made by DARPA since like '08, right? That makes you a threat assessment, right? You realize there's a threat and it sends a little blink to make you realize, oh, there's a threat and react, right? That's absolutely freaking crazy. I wonder if that stuff's going to come standard with the 2025 soldier like we saw yesterday, right? It's going to be part of the helmet because they can do it outside, they said, outside of the skin. So they can send like freaking things to tell you how to react. That's crazy. That is absolutely bonkers.
Fake. What's your take on it?
No, there's no editing. That is an original video. We did a complete analysis of it, and we tried to debunk it to see if there was something that was added to the video. All of our results came back as it was authentic. So there's something in that video. There's two things actually in that video. There's something that happens in the background, which I found initially, and I didn't even see or recognize the being or whatever it is above the fence until just a few weeks ago. It was pointed out to me by a subscriber to a friend of mine's podcast. But once you see it, you can't deny it.
So I know this whole Las Vegas alien thing happened last year sometime, right? But people are talking about it again. Just in the last week, a lot of stuff is popping up where people are taking another look at this footage and like really, really breaking it apart. So I did find two. I think it's both of the areas that this particular guy was talking about, but I want to show you.
I got the best proof there was actually an alien present in the Vegas alien video.
Look clearly, you can see it hiding behind the truck's window, and he moves away from the window when they get closer. You can clearly make out to big black eyes and green skin tone exactly as 911 color described.
Enhancing the color so you can see the face better.
This is the frame where he was present. This is right after he moved away from the window. The face is gone.
That looks like there's something there, right? And I know if you go messing with contrast and colors and brightness and all of this stuff, it does end up looking like something is everywhere. I get it. But I really want there to be aliens there. All right, check out this other one where there's another spot where they're checking out a second alien in the same frame.
We can take a video and look at whether or not there is an artificial artifact added to it or not. And in this case, we can definitively say to a degree of scientific certainty that this entity, this thing in the video is there in the physical reality in which the Kenmore family is also there. Like, this is so critical because you can clearly see through the slots in the fence that there is a leg motion moving from the right to the left side of the screen. And clearly it is behind there. So this isn't just like a head floating in space. This is a head of that is somehow that does not have full opacity, that the opacity of the head of the shadow is only at about 33% opacity versus a normal shadow, which would be at 100% opacity, or an object in the screen, which is at 100%. And this isn't anything that you did. It's just what you were able to determine, that this shadow being, or this being in the shadows, possibly creating its own shadow or smoky filter or cloaking technique, is not only cloaking itself from the people there, but cloaking itself from the camera itself, in that it's minimizing our ability to identify pixels inside of that shadow.
That is so crazy, right? And they're saying, no, it's authentic. There's no like tricking the cameras here. Nothing's going on to make it like that. This is actually happening. Like, they can't debunk it, which I think is fantastic. There's another video that says that there's like a face down at the bottom and like hands running up the sides of the fence. And that one's just absolutely crazy. But it's just becoming really big right now, and everyone's like, no, I can't. It's real. It's real, which is super cool. It's super cool. On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Come on back tomorrow. I'm going to have some new stuff for you. I'll probably say different things, and it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.